महासम्मोहिनी देवी सुन्दरी भुवनेश्वरी एकाक्षरी एकमन्त्री एकाकी लोकनायिका एकरूपा महारूपा स्थूलसूक्ष्मशरीरिणी बीजरूपा महाशक्तिः संग्रामे जयवर्धिनी.
Bhuvaneshwari is the fourth Devi of Dasha Mahavidya. She represents the principle of space. Bhuvana means world, and the Ishwari or the sovereign of the worlds is Bhuvaneshwari. First, the space is created by the vision of Paramatma, and then the creation of name and form in the world begins. The energy behind this creation is Bhuvaneshwari. As Akasha, she not only creates the worlds, but she enters into them, supports, destroys the evil, protects and nourishes everything in the worlds. She is truly Jagat Dhatri. She is also called Om Shakti, Adi Shakti. Space is the extension of our perception, which is the range of our vision. We see space as far as the eyes can see, and more we extend our vision, greater will be the realization of the vastness of the space, which in turn leads in understanding the self-extension of the divine. This paves the way for jnana or knowledge. Hence, Bhuvaneshwari is known as the Jnana Shakti or the power of knowledge. In Vedas, Aditi, the mother of gods and goddesses, is considered synonymous with Bhuvaneshwari. When describing the Supreme, the sages mention three words: Satyam, Ritam, and Brihat. Sat means existence. It represents Satya or truth as its primary principle. When this Satyam is subjected to an organized, active creation, then this is called Ritam. Brihat is the vast self-knowledge, the infinite consciousness through which Satyam becomes Ritam. Brihat is the Antariksha or the mid-region between Satyam and Ritam. This Brihat is Aditi, the mother of all gods. In Rigveda, it is illustrated as Aditir Antariksham. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is illustrated as Akasha Shariram Brahma, which means the space is the body of Brahman. The pure light pervading the space is the body of Aditi. Nobody can either destroy this radiance or measure it. Hence, in Rigveda, sages describe her as Agnya Dhenuhu, the radiant cow that cannot be slain. Later, in Puranas also, Aditi is described as mother of all Devatas. Devatas are the ones who possess more of sattvic characters and are righteous. Aditi gives birth to such people and also protects them, which means Aditi is the one who transforms Satyam to Ritam.
Aditi is described as the wife of Kashyapa in Puranas. Kashyapa means Pashyati iti Kashyapaha, one who sees and has the power of perception. Rishi Kashyapa's power of perception is Aditi. She is also the vast comprehensible space. Thus, Aditi referred in Vedas, Aditi of Puranas and Bhuvaneshwari of Tantra are one and the same. As per Devi Bhagavata, the whole universe is supported by Bhuvaneshwari. It evolves from her and resolves into her. She is the existence of everything. Hence, she is also called Prakriti. The creation of the whole universe is formed by the Panchabhutas, space, fire, air, water, and earth. In other words, the entire nature is formed by this. Bhuvaneshwari is considered as the empress of all these. She is called Prapancheshwari, which means she is the universe. The other name of Bhuvaneshwari is Maya, which means the immeasurable is subjected to measurable space. In Vedas, Lord Vishnu is known to perform this task. He is omnipresent and measures the whole universe in 3 steps. When Veda refers to Aditi as the wife of the omnipresent Vishnu, it means that she is the energy behind his valorous deeds and is known as Yogamaya. Maya is not just delusion or creation of the dream. She is Aditi, the infinite consciousness. From the formless nature, she has the power to take several forms. As mentioned earlier, she is also the Prakriti or nature. Since Bhuvaneshwari is equated with Aditi, she can be invoked by this Rik of Rigveda.
Om Aditirdyauraditiramtarikshamadirmata sa pita sa putraha Vishve deva aditif panchajana aditirjatamaditirjanitvam.
Aditi is the divine world. Aditi is the space. Aditi is the mother, father, son. All celestial beings are also Aditi. The Panchajanas being Gandharvas, Pitras, Devatas, Asuras and Rakshasas are all Aditi. All born is Aditi. To be born is also Aditi. She is omnipresent. In macrocosm, she is the space of the entire universe, and in microcosm, she is the Harakasha. The omnipresent Bhuvaneshwari resides in the thumb-sized space within the heart of the living beings. Hence, there is a belief that Paramatma resides in the heart of living beings. This Harakasha is the Ambara or space, and the space of consciousness is known as Chidambara. Here, in the Sabha or assembly known as Ambara, Devi Kali dances with her consort Nataraja. Bhuvaneshwari resides in the small space of the heart, while Kali resounds there in the form of beat. In universe, Kali and Bhuvaneshwari, as time and space, play a vital role and makes the manifestations of names and forms. If Bhuvaneshwari is the Akasha, then Kali is its Tanmatra, sound and vibration. Bhuvaneshwari provides the stage for Kali's dance. The sadhana of Bhuvaneshwari can be seen in concordance with Parovaryasi Vidya of Chandogya Upanishad. Shailaka, Chaikitayana and Pravahana, who were experts in the knowledge of Udgita, were discussing Lakshya or goal. When they started tracing the goals in a successive manner, they found that the goal of Saman is Swara, Swara's goal is Prana, and finally, they identify that the ultimate goal to be the supreme, the senior most, and refuge of all is the endless Akasha or the space.
Bhuvaneshwari is worshipped in various forms. Saubhagya Bhuvaneshwari has a red complexion with 3 eyes and broad breasts. She holds a bowl and a red lotus in her 2 hands. Maya Bhuvaneshwari will be of the complexion blue. She has 3 eyes and is adorned with a crescent moon on her head. She holds a bowl and a lotus in her 2 hands, and the other 2 hands show the gestures of grace and fearlessness. She is also depicted as having a rising sun's red-colored body with 3 eyes and 4 arms. She holds a noose and a gourd in 2 hands, and the remaining 2 indicate Abhaya and Varada mudras, the gestures of grace and fearlessness. The noose in her hand suggests that she controls the name and forms of this Maya universe. The gourd in her hand represents that a human being can control all the sensory organs by her grace. Only after controlling the sense organs, a devotee would attain both enjoyment and deliverance, which is depicted by the Abhaya and Varada mudras. She is seated on the lotus, adorned with a crescent moon on her head. The Bhuvaneshwari yantra comprises of a bhupura, inside which is an 8-petaled enclosure. Next is an enclosure with another 8 petals, followed by 2 equilateral triangles in the form of a hexagon. Inside this is the bindu. Bhupura signifies the awareness of knowledge. The next enclosure with 8 petals depicts the opposite characters of human beings like good and bad, right and wrong understandings, renunciation and delusion, mastery and slavery. Another 8-petaled enclosure represents the ashtakas of nature, that is, the 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth, along with the mind, intellect, and ego. The hexagon depicts knowledge. The bindu within this is the goddess Bhuvaneshwari.
The Bijakshara mantra of Bhuvaneshwari is Hrim. This Hrim in Tantric tradition is similar to the Omkara of Vedas. Hrim is known as Hrileka or the line of heart. This line connects the space within the microcosm with the vast space of macrocosm. That is, through this mantra, the space principle within a living being can merge with the vast space principle of the universe. For a person who desires to get liberated from his designated form and aspires to get merged with the vast space of universe, the process of liberation is augmented by the Hrim mantra of Bhuvaneshwari. The vibrations of Hrinkara merges in the outer space echoes as the sound waves and returns to the heart of the living being, which happens to be the origin of the primordial sound. So, the Hrinkara mantra helps in unifying the created space within the heart with the vast outer space. So, a devotee gets the awareness of the fact that he and the universe are not separate, but they are one and the same. He visualizes the same principle in millions and millions of living beings. Hence, one requires knowledge to understand the relationship of Jivatma, Jagat, and Paramatma, that is, living being, universe, and God. In Tripura Sundari Vidya, the primordial sound Hrim is given as a crown in the end of all the three groups of Panchadashi mantra. The Hrinkara of each group denotes one knowledge. One Hrim of one group denotes knowledge of the universe. Another group's Hrim denotes the knowledge of God and the universe. And the last Hrinkara denotes the knowledge of the relationship between God, universe, and the living being. This knowledge is Hrim, or the principle of Mahavidya Bhuvaneshwari.
By the upasana of Bhuvaneshwari, a devotee can expand his consciousness into vast space and treat equally all the living and non-living beings which are created with various forms and shapes like him. He will presume that the Paramatma who is in his heart is also residing in the hearts of all the other living beings. When he understands that the Paramatma is the same in all, then he will not differentiate between the living beings and perceives everyone equally. This enables him to acquire eternal peace. By the grace of Mahavidya Bhuvaneshwari, a devotee perceives that his body is a part of the universal body, his prana or vital force is a part of the universal vital force, his consciousness is one of the parts of the universal consciousness, and his soul is the part of the principal universal soul. He accepts the eternal truth of the fact that he is not in the Bhuvana or universe, but the entire universe is within himself.
The composition that implies the features of Mahavidya Bhuvaneshwari is Jnanambike, composed by Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar. This kriti is in the raga Senagrani and is set to Ekatala. Muthuswami Dikshitar, one among the trinity of Carnatic music, was a Jnani, a Srividya Upasaka, and a great composer. Though in the beginning the Upasaka perceives the one who knows to be known and the knowledge as different aspects, but moving on in the path of sadhana, he understands that all the three get merged in one. So, Dikshitar praised Devi as, O Mother, you are the knowledge, the knower, and to be known. Everything is your form itself. By following the path of Jnana, oneness can be achieved. Worshipped by the celestial beings and their commander-in-chief Subramanya, you transcend the dualities like love, hatred, heat, cold, and so on. You are Jnanambike, the embodiment of Jnana. But for transactional world, you shine as the wife of Konkanesha.
Jnanambike Palayama Shri ज्ञानज्ञे